So when I was in school, like in high school, and we would have reading assignments for books, I don't think I ever read the whole book. I was not a reader. I didn't like to read. And, I was that kid that was reading the Cliff Notes or trying to figure out how I can skim through and read to just pass the test and get the grade, whatever. So I remember when I graduated from college, I remember telling myself, man, I'm never going to read another book. I'm done reading, done with school. And that was my attitude. And then I remember going to this conference, and I was a young entrepreneur, and I went to this conference, this event down in Austin, Texas, and there was a gentleman that was speaking, that was putting on the event. And he had a 6-foot table, like folding table, up at the front of the room. And this man was a multi-millionaire, and he was sharing his story, how he had gone from nothing to millions. And on this 6-foot table was a pile of books. When he was broke, he hadn't read any books. And he said, since reading all these books over the past number of years, he had become a millionaire. And obviously combined with a lot of other things like hard work, taking action, things like that. But here's what he said. He said, readers are leaders and leaders are readers. And I left that event and I started to devour books. And I would ask successful people, what are some of your favorite books? Tell me what to read. And so I'm going to share with you, I've read a lot of books. I own a lot of books. I've read a lot of books. But I'm going to share with you just 4 of my favorite ones. I think we read books for different reasons. There's books that give us knowledge. There's books that inspire us. There's books that just reveal new things to us. Or there's also books that encourage us and put us in a good mood. Or, there's a lot of different things. But I'm going to show you my top 4, what I call success books for me, for Jared Burnett. So number 1 is Think and Grow Rich. Okay, I really believe there's something out there that keeps people from reading this book, because almost every businessman and entrepreneur I've ever met owns this book. And I'll say, well, have you read it? No, I haven't read it. I need to read it. I think there's something to that there's a small number of people that actually read this and something happens. Because what this book is about, Napoleon Hill interviewed the 500 wealthiest men in the world of his day. And they gave him their secrets all right here. And, you can go through this book and you can see that I have it marked up and, things underlined, because this is a textbook for me. This is here I have some notes in the margin. I have some things underlined. I go back and read this book continually. I treat it like a textbook. It's not one you read one time. This is secrets of some of the wealthiest men that ever lived right in this book, Think and Grow Rich. And it's knowledge and information. Here's another one, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Now, this was particularly important for me because the people that know me, they know that I'm not by nature a super charismatic, outgoing person. By nature, I'm an introvert. In fact, as a child, my mom would always tell me that when I was little, I would hide behind her leg. I was very shy, very much introverted. But when I started to get into business, I wanted to be successful so bad that I had to learn how to communicate with people. I had to learn how to be friendly. There's a scripture that says, he who is friendly will have friends. Okay, that's pretty simple, but a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are walking around with a scowl on their face or looking at the ground or whatever. And so this book is not just about winning friends and influencing people. This is a lot about attitude. It's a lot about just how to deal with people. It's a phenomenal book, and there's so many good things in here. Dale Carnegie, very famous book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Listen, if you're going to be successful in anything, you're going to have to work with people. And so one of the main skill sets that you're going to have to develop to go to the next level is how to work with people and how to deal with people, human beings. Here's another one of my favorite books right here. Now, Joel Osteen has written a lot of books. And I remember I had someone in my business one time, and they got all upset, and they said, well, Jared follows Joel Osteen, and he likes Joel Osteen, and I don't agree with everything that he teaches doctrinally or religiously, so I'm not going to listen to Jared anymore, or I don't want to be a part of his team or his business. And I was like, listen, I don't necessarily agree with everything, that Joel Osteen teaches or says or preaches or anything like that. It's not about that. You don't have to agree with, there's so much information and teachers that I've learned from that I don't agree with everything. It's like this. It's like eating catfish and spitting out the bones, is what someone once told me. Is you take the best and you spit out the rest. There is some phenomenal content in this book, because I think, people talk about the law of attraction. And if you don't know what that is, go look that up. But one of the things is that with vision and going for your goals and goal setting, mixing emotion and positive emotion is going to help you attract and get to where you want to go versus negative emotion, bad attitude. And so this right here is an encouragement book that it's one of his best written books. It's kind of a weird title, Every Day of Friday, but I'm telling you, this has been phenomenal for me. Just one of the things, knowing what to ignore. There's a lot of things in life you got to learn how to ignore it if you want to keep your attitude straight. So phenomenal book right here. One of my favorites. And then this one right here, this little nugget, this is hard to find. I don't even know if you can find it on, I'm sure you can with the internet today, with Amazon, whatever. But this is from a guy, again, don't necessarily agree with everything this guy teaches, preaches, or anything like that. But this book has so many facts and data of history of the richest man who ever lived, King Solomon, and it's called Secrets of the Richest Man Who Ever Lived, and 31 master secrets from the life of King Solomon. Number 10, Solomon documented and developed a plan for achieving his goals. Okay, that's just one of the keys. There's so many nuggets. You can see it's marked up everywhere. This is a textbook for me. He refused to hurry. He stayed focused, refused to get in a hurry, and being diligent. So many good things. So guys, I would tell you this. Get your nose in a book. If it's not one of these, ask someone successful that has done it. Say, what are some of the books that you read that made a difference? Because it's ideas, principles, and concepts that 90% of the time will take you to a whole nother level and help you get to that next level. And a lot of those ideas, principles, and concepts are found in these books and books like this.